Hey y'all, it's Essence Ray. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel if you like it here. You're here because you're 20 something and you want some tips. You want some guidance. I'm here. I'm 28, so I'm still in my 20s, but for my younger 20s out there, these are just some things that I wish that I would have known early on just to make my 20s a bit smoother. As an only child, there's just a lot of things that I had to learn on my own without any guidance for the first time. I got y'all. We not recreating the wheel. You don't got to do all that. Okay? So first and foremost, the top thing that I wish I would have known was if they don't affect your livelihood, your money, your health, etc., their opinion does not matter. Do not take into account what anybody else. No, do not go putting your stock into other people's opinions when they really virtually have no effect on your life at all, especially if they're negative. And if they're positive, that's great, but you don't need validation out here, okay? Because when you learn about leveling up and stuff, sometimes it gets lonely and you are the only person that's going to empower yourself. So whether their opinion is positive or negative, great. My grandma would say, take it as a grain of salt because that's all it is. Why be pressed about it? Why be stressed? Or why think about it? Or, no. Just leave it where it's at. I wish early on I would have known that there would be a lot more negative opinions because I was always a nice girl. So I just thought that people were going to be nice because I was nice. But obviously, everybody knows that the world does not work like that. Baby, when they hit you with them negative opinions, first off, who cares? Why are you giving it? Just leave it be. The second thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s, and is another short and sweet thing, is you are the prize. You are the prize, and this is your world. This world was designed for you to succeed in it. This is your story. This is how you come into the world and come into yourself, whether it's an underdog story or it's a hero story or whatever it is. You're the main character in it, and you need to play your part. You cannot be getting caught up in other people's roles, and all you need to understand is your life was designed for you to win. Okay, not only are you the prize, but you're a winner. And the only thing stopping you is you. So don't block yourself. You're the prize. Go do your thing. The third thing I wish I knew earlier in my 20s was that, there are humble people, and it's great to be humble. There's no prizes for the person that dims their light the most. Don't dim your light for anybody. If you are dramatic, if you are full of energy and personality, or whatever it seems to be that just makes you shine bright from within, don't dim that. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm just trying, or, oh, no, that's okay. Or if you get a compliment, don't shy away from compliments. Accept the compliment. If someone calls you beautiful or something, don't be like, oh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Dimming your light goes hand in hand with self-esteem. Look up the definition of humble. The definition that I see here on Google is having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. I don't like that definition. Showing a low estimate of one's importance. And it's just no, we're not all narcissists out here. But no, show yourself some importance. Love on yourself. Shine your light. Be the light that you are. Dimming your light is not going to make you any more accepted. Think about a diamond cosplaying as a rock or something. No, we see that you're a diamond. Just shine. Just do your thing. There are no prizes for being the most humble person out here. You will just be overlooked. Okay? So if you have a talent, if you have a gift, if you have a vibrant personality, or you just breathe life, do that. Okay? And do it proudly. The next one is more practical, and that's just save your money. Save your money. At first, I didn't understand the idea of pay yourself first. I just thought like, oh, well, I'm paying myself first. I'm gonna do something that I wanna do for myself. But it's like, no, pay yourself first and put that money somewhere. Being an adult in this economy, yeah, you have to have some savings. You just never know what's gonna come up. I was always one who had to learn the hard way. And then next thing you know, something happens and I'm like, oh my God, I can't pay for this. Like, how am I gonna do this? And granted, I bartended and served for most of like my college experience and like shortly after college. So I could just pick up some shifts and pay off the things that I need to pay. But you never know what's gonna happen, okay? And you also never know what you're gonna wanna do. You might wanna go on vacation, all right? The next thing that I wish I would have known, still on the money topic, is invest. Just invest early on. If you got out of college and you get a job, definitely take advantage of their 401ks, their IRAs. Invest on things of your own. Learn about investing. In your early 20s, if you start investing, you can retire early if you stay consistent and keep putting the money into your investment account. Just the idea of compounding interest and how that money just multiply, like it's just take advantage of your money making money for you. The next thing that I learned, short and sweet, the idea of negative thoughts. Most of your negative thoughts are not even you. Most of your negative thoughts are who you were raised as. Maybe it's how your mother raised you or your father raised you, or just the things that you saw in your family, or how close friends were being raised, or just how you were brought up in general. That usually frames your mindset. And until you get to your early 20s where you start to have an awareness, you don't really know that. It's time to extract the person who was superimposed on you from who was really you. So you kind of gotta clear out all that stuff that doesn't serve you. Usually the person who you really are is who you feel good as, the things that you enjoy doing, just your true personality when you're not around all of the stuff that makes you not feel good, if that makes sense. Understand where your negative thoughts come from. Understand the difference between you as a person versus the negative thoughts. Trace them back to where they come from, and be done with them, because those negative thoughts are only going to make your 20s hard. You want to thrive and build in your 20s. You don't want to be fighting off stuff that wasn't even yours in the first place. The next thing, and I hate to say it, well, I used to hate to say it. The next thing, and it used to annoy me so much because I didn't have control of it, was mindset. Mindset is everything. Literally everything starts from a thought. We live in a world where we think that everything is out of our control, and there's so much happening around us that we don't really understand the minute idea that our thoughts change everything. I didn't understand that because I was like, my thoughts are just in my head. I'm just feeling all these things. I couldn't connect how they were creating the physical reality. But I learned a lot about like quantum theory, the idea that there's all this energy just floating around us, and your thoughts have energy that connects to the energy that's floating around you, and that kind of starts the process of creating the physical manifestations of your thoughts. I'm like, oh my God, look at science coming out late for me. Like, I'm like, I wish I would have known this earlier, because sometimes you need things in different explanations, like different forms to understand it. And I just couldn't for life of me understand like my mindset, like how was it creating all this craziness? Your mindset will create everything. Like your thoughts and beliefs really do create everything. So it's important to have good images, good thoughts, good visions around you, because it really does matter. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I just did and I didn't like it. So, just work on that. And if you're still working on your mindset and like your vision of yourself, and you feel like you need a place to just like hash all that stuff out, I do have a guided journal below. It's called the Bring Your Vision to Life Journal. It basically has like a bunch of activities and stuff in it, and mind mapping and vision planning to really open your mind up and get your thoughts and your dreams and what you want to manifest on paper, so you can make your action plan, okay? The next thing I learned, which might be redundant or whatever, or a cliche, but it's something that needs to be said because somebody needs it, is love yourself first and put yourself first. This world will make you feel like you are selfish or a bad person or self-absorbed or all these negative connotations just because you try to prioritize yourself and take care of yourself. I know a lot of us come from backgrounds where maybe growing up we were not able to do those things, and now we're learning to. And now that we're learning to and we're finally doing that, we may still be around some of those older people who were around when we weren't taking care of ourselves, or they may have groomed us to put other people first. And it's just, no. The self-sacrificial idea has been, especially as Black women, ingrained in us to just be these self-sacrificial women who are just taking care of the children and taking care of the home and being like the mammies or whatnot. And as a Black woman, I definitely stand for taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself, soft life this, luxury that. And it doesn't have to be financial or materialistic, just prioritizing yourself and loving yourself through and through. You deserve that, okay? And you don't have to have a reason for that. Everybody should be doing that, you know? So do that. Ooh, this is another good one. Don't spread yourself too thin. I always wanted to be so involved and be around, probably because I was the only child, and when I went home, it was like just me. But I did at a point spread myself too thin, just being an overachiever and stuff. And while it did create a hustle mentality that I am grateful for because it helped my work ethic, I don't recommend spreading yourself too thin. I think things should be balanced. Definitely hone in on some things that you feel very passionate about. I know some of us with our ADHD, we're passionate about everything. We're always like here to here to here. But definitely, if anything, pace yourself if you have multiple interests. Definitely check out my micro habits video because it talks a lot about planning your day and your week and stuff. And just make sure that you have a balanced life. That's the idea. You don't want to be working too much. You don't want to be not working too much or being lazy. You don't want to be spreading yourself throughout a bunch of things. Take time for yourself. Pace out the things that you have to do just to have some peace of mind. So the next thing that I wish I would have known in my early 20s is that passive income exists. Like, you can make money without actively working for it. Now, I'm a first generation college student, first generation, a lot of things. So the financial literacy portion in my family was not really there. So I learned a lot about finances, financial literacy, saving, investing, multiple streams of income. I learned about all of that just on my own and educated myself. So I didn't learn about passive income until about a few years ago. Before that, I've always been a hustler. I always thought that you just had to get a job. Sometimes I had 2 jobs. I had no problem getting a job. I'm like, that's the only way I'm gonna make money, right? And I was wrong. If you guys want me to do a video on my passive income streams, definitely let me know below and I'll make a whole video for you guys, because I actually think that's super important for young women to know that you don't gotta work yourself to the bone, girl. And when you get into your abundance mindset and into that I don't chase, I attract mindset, these opportunities are just gonna come to you to create passive income. You'll be on YouTube and it's gonna show up in your search bar, or you just never know. But I will definitely make that video for you guys if you're interested. The next ones are gonna be kind of brief, but the next one is a good one. Detachment. I wish I knew the art of detachment. Detachment is a good one. And I had to learn that literally the hard way, because transparency, I had a little fear of abandonment. Some childhood thing, we don't need to do that. Tiny violin, we don't gotta do all that. But basically, when you are afraid to let things go and let people go, when they say in order to get the things that you want, you have to let go of things that are no longer serving you, Whoever created that quote is just like, they need to be paid. Rent was due that day that they said that, because when I tell you, as soon as I started letting go of people and things that no longer served me, I would get ideas, opportunities would come my way. I would be out running errands and I would meet people and they would just like tell me about opportunity. It's really real, the idea of detachment and letting go. And sometimes when you've been around people or you've had things for a certain amount of time, you put a lot of stock in the time that you've had those things or you've been around those people, and you really don't analyze, are they good for me? Are they serving me? Are they not serving me? A lot of people end up keeping things around them for the sake of familiarity. And you know, we're humans, we don't like our change, we like our consistency, our routines, our familiar things. But those familiar things can really keep us stagnant if we don't assess and make changes and detach. Not to mention the men. Detach from that man, okay? If he not serving you, detach from that man. Let's go back to the second one. You are the prize, so don't forget about that either, okay? I know that being a boo since high school, but if it's not working, you gotta detach. Your 20s will thank you. The next thing is, I wish I had more emotional intelligence. Being able to regulate your emotions, understand what your emotions mean, what they're trying to tell you, being proactive rather than reactive, knowing when you feel certain emotions, just understanding what your body is trying to communicate with you about that and making the change you need to make rather than being reactive or blowing up, and doing what you actually need to progress rather than what's going to make you feel good in the current moment. The next thing is, I wish I would have traveled more. I really have spent my 20s building, and I'm not knocking that, because your 20s you should be building, but you also need to take breaks. Remember I told you I learned to not spread myself too thin? You also have to learn to take breaks and enjoy yourself. You will never be this young again. So go take that trip, go study abroad, do whatever you want to do. Just go somewhere. In 2020, right before the pandemic, I went to Ethiopia. And when I tell you, it was one of the best experiences of my life. It was so life-changing. Like, you have to have those moments. Definitely get out of the country, go travel, go see the world if you can, and you know, just go do it. There's so many opportunities to do it. You could be an au pair, I think that's how you pronounce it, au pair. You can volunteer. You can go with a church, like a missionary or something. You can do you can do so many things at a low cost, but you definitely want to just get out there and travel. If not a girl's trip, and not Miami. Okay, y'all go to Miami. But I really mean like travel and go see the world and experience new things and people and cultures while you're young, and just enjoy yourself, okay? And the last thing that I urge every young woman in her 20s to lean into and understand and focus on is your gut, your intuition. Trust your gut. Trust your intuition. Look, can't nobody tell me I'm not psychic, because when you get that feeling, you get that feeling. What old people always say, like my grandma and my aunties, they always used to be like, go with your first mind, or trust your first mind. Listen to your gut. Your gut is your connection to God, to the universe, and to your survival instincts as well. 99% of the time, that feeling that you felt, it happened. Comment below one of them times where you felt like something was going to happen and then you ignored it and then it happened. All women have that story. Do not ignore your gut, okay? Trust yourself before anything or anyone else. But yeah, that's a wrap. Those are all the things I wish I knew. I learned them late. I was hard-headed. But now you don't have to. You don't have to create the wheel. Take this, all right? I got you. Definitely comment below and let me know which one was like an eye-opener for you, or if you feel like I missed something, like something that you would have wanted me to talk about. And you know, let me know. I love to hear y'all responses and y'all comments and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm Essence Ray, and I'll catch y'all in another video. Okay, bye. Spring is a life that's better than yours.